Welcome back to 10 Foot Customs, and in this episode we are doing some work for my nephew. We're gonna do some powder coating for him. He's got rims. I don't even know what rims they are, and he wanted I think they're a 2-piece, maybe a 3-piece rim, I don't know. They're on one of his Miatas that he has, and he wanted to do the bolts around the outside in black. And so he gave me a bin of bolts, and there's a lot of them, and I'm going to go through here and powder coat them, and I'm going to show you how I powder coat bolts like this that I found is a super easy way, and they come out pretty good. A couple of tips and tricks to make it work out well that way. Hopefully you don't hear the heater running with the microphone, but if you do, the noise in the background is the heater running because it's cold outside. That's what it is. It's March, and last night was probably the last snow we're gonna get this year. Hopefully, we may get one more. Next week's all gonna be in the 60s. Let's hope it stays there. I doubt it. But the heater will be going off because the heater and my powder coating oven are on the same circuit, and I can't run them both at the same time. So when the powder coating oven's on, the heater has to be off. So we'll get all this prepped with some heat, and then we'll flip the oven on and get the oven heating as well. So first thing is first, with this bin of bolts, I will show you what we're gonna do. So we just got a basic board here, just give me a work surface. There's got to be a bunch of bolts. I don't even know how many bolts are here. There's a lot of them. He said he cleaned them, and I trusted he cleaned them, but I always go back over things again because I don't know if this bucket was used for something else, but it looks like there's marks of bolt heads on there, which means there could be a little more grease on them. Just gonna lay them out. It's almost as flat as I can get them, and just hit them with some brake cleaner. Another paper towel. And we'll see, yeah, there's a little bit of dirt on them. You can see just a little bit, but nothing crazy. Brake cleaner will break down the majority of it and let it wash off. A lot of that could be in the threads and stuff. People do this a little bit different. After that spray down, we'll just do this. Try to get a little bit closer. We've already done a test batch of these that came out really good. Yeah, we definitely have some dirt in there, but that's okay. And one more batch. Oh, frozen hands, that brake cleaner's cold. There we go. Whew. Okay, that's enough cleaning for what I'm gonna do. The easiest way I have found to do bolts, and I've done motorcycle spokes and the motorcycle spoke nipples and all that kind of stuff with, is use aluminum foil. And I don't know if I've used aluminum foil on here before, but aluminum foil works fantastic for masking off anything you need to powder coat, because it can go in the oven, obviously, without a problem. And then, like, where I get my powder coating gun from is Eastwood, and it works really well. Oh, by the way, use the heavy duty stuff if you're gonna do this, because the thinner stuff rips really easily, and it's really soft, and it'll cause valleys in like my tray. and that will come into play later. But anyway, but where I get my powder coating stuff from, which is Eastwood, they have a fiberglass tape that is designed to take the heat of the oven, so you can actually use that to mask the edge that you're working with, and then you can use the aluminum foil and like tape it on there and get a really nice clean edge, and it works really, really well. Try to get this as close to centered as possible. It does not have to be perfect by any means. I'm going to try to leave the outer edges open because that's what's got to slide on the oven thing, whatever you call that, the rails in the oven. We're going to try to make it as tight as we can, as taut as possible. That will also be key. Okay. Just like that. Looking good. Okay. That's that. So now, got a pocket knife with a little Phillips head screwdriver stabby thing on it, and a filter, and a file. And we're just going to poke holes in it. I don't know, maybe an inch apart. You don't want to go too big, so it's a 4 there. And 5 there, so that's 9. 9 times. It really doesn't matter how many you can get in here. I don't want to get them too close, just because I want to make sure I get the powder coating around them really well. It leaves some space. So just that little hole, let's see if these fit. I don't want the heads to fall through, so yeah, that'll work. Can probably go slightly larger with my holes. Yeah, this will work. Some of these holes are way too tiny. That one maybe now way too big. Now we're good. It's fine. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna continue doing this till I have an entire pan full of bolt heads. So let me get that done, and then I'll bring it back in. We'll see how many we can fit on this one rack to go in the oven. So that took me probably about a half hour to get all these in here. I thought I was gonna need a second pan or a second tray, which I have, but I figured I can get them all onto this tray, which is gonna be perfect. That means it's gonna be one trip into the oven, and that's good. Heater's off. The oven is preheated up to 400 degrees. That's what this black powder coat wants. And we will now get into putting the powder coating onto the heads of the bolts. Okay, all of our bolts are set up. I've got my powder coating in the black powder coat in the gun. Again, this is the Eastwood hot coat gun. This is the dual voltage gun. But what I like, I gotta put this light down. So what I like about doing bolt heads like this is I can take my negative terminal, which I do believe this is negative terminal, and I can just clip it to the corner of my aluminum foil, and that makes this entire pan now conductive, so that when the powder coating comes out, it'll stick to all of it really nice and clean. So I think I need to get air. I don't have air yet. If you get one of these Eastwood powder coating guns, I found that running this button, which is your turns on your power, and zip tying it to the handle works really well. I think I showed this in another video. But that way you can hold it and use your thumb to turn it on and off. And that way, if you're holding a piece or whatever, you're not trying to, finagle this button and, do whatever. So yeah, I've found that this works really well. Just push it. You can actually hear. Can we? We not on? What's up? We gotta be doing something. Yeah, we're on. Okay. So it's powered. Okay, so let me get air, hook up the air line to it, and we'll start powder coating. Just gently pull the trigger. And we're gonna try to make sure we don't get too much powder coat underneath, because we don't want it on the threads. We're gonna come from both sides. It's hard when you have this many bolts to keep track of making sure you got them all. You're just gonna have to really do a good visual before you throw it in the oven. Make sure they all look completely covered. What I'm going to do is take off this little cap. This is the diffuser cap. If you remove it, it'll give you a little more of a straight shot at stuff. Like that. Depending on what you're doing, sometimes it's good to have it on, sometimes it's fine not to have it on. And I'm looking for everything just to get a dull look. If there's a shiny spot on any of it, that means it's not covered. That noise you're hearing is the actual the metal, the aluminum foil moving with the electric current. From this side, because these guys, I can tell, aren't covered at all. You don't want to blow too much air either, even with my regulator on, because you'll blow the powder right back off. Make sure I get these middle ones really good, because those would be the ones I'd forget and not get a good coating on. I think that's looking pretty good. So everything's looking good. I've looked over them all. I don't see any spots that don't look covered. Everything looks like it's got that flat black graphite-y look to it, which is what we're looking for. Yeah, I think that's really close. The oven's preheated, so we're gonna throw these in the oven. Because of the mess my garage is in, I have to open the garage door to get the pan in. And there we go. Now, I'm gonna let those go till they look wet. So once it's melted, once it's gone, it looks melted, we set the timer for 20 minutes and we cook them for 20 minutes. So it's been about 5 minutes or so, maybe 7 minutes. And if you can look inside, the heads of the bolts are looking glossy. It's a little hard to see, but they are. Not the aluminum foil, because the aluminum foil obviously gets hotter a lot faster than the bolt heads, but the bolt heads themselves look shiny. So now I'm gonna close the oven door. Set the timer for 20 minutes. So it's cook time. And then minutes. That's 20. There we go. When that ends, the oven will turn off on its own if I forget about it. I'm not going to forget about it, but if it did, that would turn the oven off for me. I just remember to push the start button. So we're counting down. We've got just about 3 minutes, a little less than 3 minutes till these are done. And this is going to come down to what I consider probably the most important part of doing this technique with the bolt heads. The aluminum foil is going to cool down really, really fast, and the bolt heads are going to take a little longer to cool down because obviously there's more mass to them. But if you let everything cool down, the bolt heads are going to stick to the aluminum foil, and you're going to peel aluminum foil off because you've made a gigantic puddle of powder coating on the aluminum foil and on the bolt heads, and they're gonna bond together. We don't want that to happen because you don't want to be having to pick off aluminum foil and then possibly chip your powder coating and all that kind of fun stuff. So immediately once I get that pan out of here, I'm going to set it up on this rack or on the holder here, and I'm going to go over there and just start bumping and moving all of the bolt heads from the bottom. So hitting all the threads to break that seal of the bolt head to the aluminum foil. Again, the aluminum foil is going to cool down really, really quick. And I'm going to try to get the door closed to give me a little bit of time to work with it. But as soon as I can get them to, to break that seal, the aluminum foil should cool down and they shouldn't bond back up. If I can get the heads to be up off the aluminum foil a little bit while I'm doing this, that's going to be my best case scenario. Just kind of push them up. But as long as they move a little bit while the foil cools, the bolt heads won't bond to the foil. So in a minute here, this should end and I will get them out of the oven. This has been going for 20 minutes, like I said, and that's the time that Eastwood sets. I mean, for most of their powders, it's 20 minutes. With black, you can go probably a little bit longer without a problem because you're not going to burn it. If you have whites and clears, you can actually yellow them a little bit if you go too long. I've never done that. I've never had a problem doing that. Again, this is set to 400 degrees. Some of them are set to a little bit higher than that. Like 420, I think, is some of the higher ones, or 430, I don't remember. Eastwood's colors are normally, the average, like pretty much standard 400 degrees for 20 minutes. Take them out, let it cool, and you're done. So there we go. Yeah, I know, we're done. Okay, that was really hot for my welding glove. Okay, so we get that there, and just get in here and start moving them. Get that shut down. Show you what we got here. Again, that foil is going to cool really quick. Just gonna get in here and just, it's already starting to do it. And I don't want to do that though. I don't want to knock them over like I just did. Just gonna spin them. Well, I just messed up that one. This is not going well at all. Because I'll set that guy in there. Hopefully he doesn't look too bad. Yeah, this is already starting to cure too fast. This is not good, people. When I did this on the test set of them, there was like 10 bolts. I'm just spinning them, try to break them free of the foil. Some of these may stick more than I want. Let's see, we're getting there. You might have like half of them in a bad way. Yeah, some of these are stuck and tearing the foil already. Well, we may be cleaning up some foil. So I guess the takeaway I have from this is with this many bolts, don't do this many bolts. Oh yeah, we're gonna be done here in a second. Yeah, I've got foil on them. Oh, this isn't good. Well, at this point, I don't think there's anything I can do. They are where they are now. I thought I was going to have a little bit more time to work with them. Yeah, I'm just ripping holes through the foil. Well, that's it. Now, I had two come out that wasn't good. I mean, these bolts are so hot that I can't touch them. Wow, hot that I can't touch them for long. But I'm pulling the foil. So the ones that I got too quick enough, so you're looking probably half of them are going to be fine. They're not touching. Ow, hot. But there's a load of them that are going to have aluminum foil stuck to them. So I would say probably 10, 20, 30, maybe 40 of them at a time that you could probably get and be able to unstick them fast enough. Maybe. So I'm going to let these cool now because there's nothing else I can do. And we'll see if we can get some of these to peel off. I'll take out the ones that are good and easy to get out now. But you live and you learn. There's no way I could go fast enough to get all these off. I could probably throw them back in the oven, but I don't know if that's worth it either. So we are. So I'm going to let these cool. I'll come back out here and we'll get off what we can. And hopefully we don't peel too much aluminum foil. Well, it's the same day. I decided to go get stuff for dinner, and so I just changed my hoodie. We'll see what we got here. These are the ones that fell out, but they don't look damaged in any way. Again, there's aluminum foil stuck to them, which Sucks. That'll work, maybe. Let's see what we got. These on this side should all be nice. They all came out looking really good. If it'll focus on them. Nice black powder coated heads, and the threads didn't get much on them, which is good. So we were going for. Let's see these ones here. Where they stuck, you have bits of aluminum foil just stuck underneath them. Sometimes it'll come off, sometimes it won't. Yeah, that came off, so they'll come off. It's just, it's gonna take a lot more time than I had planned. Well, got them all off. I had maybe about a dozen of them with aluminum foil that I had to peel off, which it came off relatively easy, which I was surprised about. But that's it. I know when this video comes out tomorrow, I won't have a picture of the wheels done. My plan will be to, when the wheels are done, which I think are gonna be like a couple days, the thumbnail will be the completed wheels. So if you're watching this the Sunday, the 9th of March, you will not see the completed wheels. If you're watching this anytime after that, hopefully the thumbnail will actually have the completed wheel with the black bolts all the way around them. I think they're a white wheel with black bolts, if I'm correct, I do believe. So that will be the thumbnail. So if you're watching this tomorrow, the 9th of March, 2025, come back and check out the thumbnail, and maybe I'll post a picture in the end of the video. I'll just re-edit it and re-upload it with it in there, but that's it. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 123, 122, because again, I already did some, gave him some test ones, so made sure they worked. But that was 122-ish done on one run, and it did really well. So yeah, that's how I use aluminum foil to powder coat mass quantities of things, and to try to keep the powder coating off the threads. It works really well because most of the powder coating stays up on top. So with that, we'll end the episode. Thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope everybody has a great week.
Yeah.